Hey, do you think having responsibilities is hard? It's fair to say that you have to be prepared for any sort of responsibility. And if your cactus ever died, you might not be ready to have children, for example. Not to compare children to plants, but you have to feed them, wash them, educate them, and preferably more often than once in a week. And of course, I'm joking around, you have to do much more, but some of us don't think so. I'm talking specifically about Nurse Hannah. A nurse, a mother of two, and most importantly, a person who became famous for having 17 dirty diapers lying around her house.
Let's pick up all the dirty diapers I have lying around my house right now. I kid you not, my guess is probably 15. Counting just 4 diapers right here on the coffee table. Found another one right behind the couch. Oh, found 2 more. So far that's what? 7 diapers, I'm pretty sure. That's just down here, like in the kitchen living room area. Let's go upstairs. Okay, so right away I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 diapers. Then into the bedroom. This is the corner of what my side of the bed looks like at night. It's embarrassing, I know. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This diaper situation got many different opinions. On the one hand, it's an authentic lifestyle. She doesn't try to make her life seem aesthetic, which I appreciate. Also, 17 dirty diapers means that she cleaned up her children 17 times. And I agree with that, but I have to say, there is another side too. Like for example, feces lying around her house, especially those on a coffee table. I think it's an obvious disadvantage of this system. No eating on the couch in this house. And what if her kid will somehow interact with a dirty diaper? Because there are stories like that. I have done that before in the past. My kid grabbed a poopy diaper one time and got it on his face while I changed him. So I started throwing them and then getting them shortly after I was done. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And if there are 17 of them, the chances of this happening increase by 17 times. I'm curious how a nurse doesn't know that dirty diapers are a biohazard that can be harmful. But you also understand that her being a nurse doesn't affect literally anything in her life. And the story with the diapers didn't end at this point. Hannah decided to share even more questionable details.
I'm not changing my kid's diaper when they pee. I've never done that.
So you just wait until it starts to fall out? Maybe it's a nice life hack. If you lost your child somewhere, don't panic and follow that poop and pee trail they've left. It's not laziness, it's called safety. Like I get it, parenting is hard, but you willingly gave birth to your children and then don't want to take full care of them?
Do you know how expensive diapers are? I have friends and people that I know that like, oh, they peed, we have to change their diaper. And I'm like, they peed? Literally, I will change his diaper if he poops. Or if it's like a very full diaper.
It took me 5 seconds to Google why you need to change diapers if your kid just peed on them. Wearing a wet diaper for babies is generally considered problematic. Prolonged exposure to moisture can lead to skin irritation and conditions like diaper rash. The wetness can break down the skin barrier, making it more susceptible to bacteria and infections. And what contains bacteria and can cause infections? Right, the poops she's waiting for to change the dirty diaper. Again, she is a nurse and somehow this is not a common sense to her. And what I love about this video, she basically admits that her children are more like inconvenience and she won't try to change her life or spend some extra time to make them happier.
Let's talk things I don't really care about as a mom. Cutting things up in really tiny pieces. Now, am I gonna give him a bunch of like choking hazards? No.
There is a small chance your child can choke on food. What do you do? Right, you hope it just doesn't happen. Like it is the life of your child and you don't care and act like it's a normal thing people do?
Next one, my child's screen time. Like sometimes if I need to get things done and he's screaming, I'm gonna turn on Blippy, alright?
It's been almost a year since we started talking about an iPad kid infestation, and it's still a huge problem. If your kid is having an emotional breakdown, the last thing you want to do is overload his psyche even more. It just shows how little she cares about her son. I would never do something like that to my subscribers. No brain rot for you. So please like, comment, and subscribe.
Well, good morning to everybody except for James, who felt the need to just full on touch the waffle iron this morning. Why would you touch that? Come here. Lately, we are just 100% in the stage of he has to learn the hard way, unfortunately.
Can you imagine being unmindful and putting a hot iron in reach of your child and not feeling even a little bit guilty about it? She didn't hug him, she didn't even feel sorry for him. No, she said he has to learn the hard way. How's he supposed to know that it's unsafe? He's exploring the world and she definitely saw him reaching and didn't even stop him or say anything. And I tell you, her whole profile is filled with videos like that.
Well, if this right here doesn't say struggle bus this morning, I don't know what will. You know, I was rushing this morning to go get my hair done and I was trying to be a nice mom and make pancakes and you know what? It just ended up with James falling off the chair.
Again, the only emotion I saw on her face was annoyance. Nothing like concern or sadness. And James had a knife in his hands when he fell. But then I noticed something else. She literally pulled the chair. I don't want to make any conspiracy theories, but this woman got popular by doing reckless things. Could it be that her content is pre-planned? She pulled the chair, her toddler fell, and she did completely nothing to calm him down. Now listen to what she actually thinks about what happened.
I mean, he was fine afterwards, but he did just cry and sob for a good chunk of time after that. Something that I didn't really have time for today. But yes, I am getting my hair done today, and I have not gotten my hair done in years.
He's such an inconvenience. Couldn't James understand? I haven't done my hair in years. It means a lot to me. Definitely more than him falling and feeling pain. Children are so ungrateful. I don't get how a hairdresser appointment can be more important than your hurt, crying child. This mother loves her son only when he doesn't affect her life. When he doesn't cry or ask for food or act like a child, even though he is a child.
Flying and traveling with a toddler in general is so difficult. When your toddler is sick with a fever, it's a whole other story. I would never say that I was grateful that James had a fever today, but honestly, it made the day a little bit easier because he wasn't running around in hyper.
I would never say that I am grateful that my child has a fever, but when he is ill, he doesn't run and have energy, and I love it. I wonder, if you find kids such a problem, why would you make them? I really get how tiring it might be having kids, but it breaks my heart imagining James growing up and seeing these videos of himself and how his mom rejects him over and over again. Like in this very video, she puts him to sleep on the floor at the airport. I wouldn't sit there myself, nothing like putting a sick toddler there. But even this is not the end.
Also, this granola bar was the first thing that James had in like 12 hours, that's all he would eat.
One granola bar in 12 hours for a sick toddler sounds just right. I'm trying to understand Hannah. She was exhausted during this flight, I get it. But toddlers can't take care of themselves. And the food in this family is the whole other story. I want to go back to the things I don't really care as a mom video, as she describes it a little bit there.
Next one, if my kid likes what I make for dinner, he's gonna eat it. I'm not making anything crazy. I'm not making anything disgusting. What we're having for dinner is what we're having for dinner. This is what we had for dinner, and we're all eating it.
Her kids will eat what she cooks, but she and her husband will eat something delicious. Some candies and pizza, yeah, right in front of James, and not letting him try it.
Even James loved this. But I was upset because I didn't want to share it with him. And my husband didn't want to share it with him, but he needed something. Poor James only got like 1.5 slices.
I think it's a normal thing not wanting to share from time to time. But then you don't eat it in front of him and don't make video about it and feed your child first. And you have to understand that it's a normal thing for this family. Like this video was the most harmless one. Sometimes they straight flick him away. If that doesn't break your heart, I don't know what will. James didn't even want to take that lobster. He wanted a piece of bread and a fry. And I swear, they have so many videos where James just sits there and watches them eat.
The next way that we save a lot of money while we eat out is we don't order drink. We don't drink alcohol. We're not ordering sodas. 100% of the time, if we have leftovers, we are bringing it home.
So interesting. There are so many ways they save money eating out, but she never mentioned not buying anything to her child. Yeah, we could stop eating out to afford the equal amount of food to everyone. But I don't like cooking. So James can just smell my chicken and pretend like he ate it. And if you thought it was a stupid excuse, I hope Hannah won't see this video because she would definitely use it.
But anyways, the Jersey Mike sandwich is still slapped. James was asking for a bite, and I said, we're in the new car. I'm not giving you a whole sub sandwich, but you can have a bite of my bread. That's what you can have. And then I'll feed you something else when we get home. But no, these sandwiches are for mom and dad.
My parents have a cat, and when I'm staying with them and she asks to feed her, I can't eat. Honestly, I would stop eating and feed her before finishing the meal. And this is their child. I can't comprehend how's that possible. It is the silliest and the most stupid reason to not share food. And if you want to ask me, have they ever shown what James eats? Of course, don't worry. There are two options. The first one, he can eat chewed up food. POV, you don't have 5 hours for your kid to chew his food, so you do it for him. Yeah, what if she has a hairdresser today? Of course, there is no time to let your 2-year-old eat with his own teeth. I'm not surprised at this point that they feed him like a bird. The second option of toddler food is to make some fun. And by that I mean giving your newborn a lemon juice and some jalapeno. Why not? He's making such funny faces. It's not a bad thing as long as it's funny. And even though this is not a behavior of a responsible parent, it's not the reason why people started to talk about Hannah. There are some concerns that James might be physically abused. And it came from this TikTok video.
And I feel like at this point, they're just a Vegas tradition for us. In fact, my husband and I went to Vegas on our honeymoon in 2020.
I've never seen any physical abuse in their TikTok videos, but it might be a very scary sign of what might be going on behind the camera. The moment James's father showed the box, James flinched like he was protecting himself from being hurt. And it could be a normal reaction of an adult, but never a child. A child who never experienced physical harm simply doesn't have the defending mechanism. And that's why people started to post videos where they try to make their children flinch, to show that kids who have never been hurt don't try to defend themselves. They're not scared of their parents. More and more people started to pay attention to bruises James had on his face, and other behavior of a child that doesn't appear normal. Like that one time they put James behind the stove and he got nervous very quickly, almost terrified like like they're gonna leave him or do something to him. And there is a reason to his fear. Hannah locks up her son in a room for hours.
Happy daylight savings to all you parents out there that did not get that extra hour of sleep today. I saw some parents saying that they were up at 4 a.m., which that would never, ever fly in my household. I'm sorry, but if my kid woke up at 4 a.m., you're gonna stay in your room. You're gonna stay in your bed. I don't care if you want to play in your bed. I don't care if you want to kick the bars, kick the door, whatever. We are not coming out of our room at 4 a.m.
There's a thing called parenting. I've heard that's why parents wake up in the middle of the night to help with needs of their children and not lock them up like a puppy. What if something happens? What if he had a nightmare and he's scared? What if he wants to eat? Even an adult would get uncomfortable being locked up in a room like that. And they always justify their actions like they need to sleep because they work so much, or they don't have money for something like clothes or food.
It feels like 8 degrees. And we're venturing out of the house with 2 kids because I am stupid. This is how cold the car is.
Is she bragging about being irresponsible? Look, I'm so stupid. It's so cold outside, but I still took my son out without a coat.
It turned winter in like 0.2 days and this kid doesn't have a big jacket. So I need to find him a big jacket. I'm sorry, but I can't spend $35 on a toddler jacket.
Oh, poor Hannah. She can't afford buying a coat to her son when it's cold outside. She must have a really low income. How convenient that she made a whole video about her budget.
Yesterday was payday, so you guys know what that means. It's time to budget my weekly paycheck as a nurse. I work about 5 to 6 shifts a month, and this paycheck came out to $2,780. My husband's bi-weekly paycheck came out to $3,210, equaling a total of $5,990. You guys know the drill. Before I pay any bills or spend any money, I always pay 10% in tithing back to the church. I'm gonna round up this week to $600 even.
Oh, that's where all the money go. Hannah is a Mormon, and apparently her beliefs tell her that she can freeze her children but fill the pockets of a church. I hope that explains to you some part of her behavior. There is also a video where she claims that a nurse can earn $5,000 a week. Also, there must be an income from her social media. I just don't believe her. And as you remember, I've actually told you that Hannah has a second child. And she's too small to say if there are any violations towards her, but it's already starting. For example, Hannah didn't visit a doctor after she got pregnant till being 30 weeks pregnant. Or there is a video where she did this. I can't even find words to describe everything that's going on right now. It's insane. But there is some good news. Hannah got reported to CPS and hopefully her kids will get help. I hope people would understand that raising a child is a responsibility. And if you're not ready for it, simply don't take it. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm a small creator and it is really important for me. Bye!